We'll talk about the World Cup now. It's something happening in Russia, starting from the Confederations Cup that will be in June in Russia. Now, because of the fans' violence we experienced at the Euro 2016, just last year, talking about France 2016, what FIFA had decided to do, or rather Russian authorities to avoid the hooliganism, terrorism and some other things that may happen inside the stadium, they decided that they're going to make a special ID card for fans that will enter the stadium. So you definitely need that ID card to gain entrance into the stadium. If you don't have it, you cannot access the stadium.
Interesting. I mean, Cecilia, it remains to be seen how effective this is going to be, but I think I like the idea. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, if you don't have the ID card, you can't, be around the vicinity of any of the stadia in Russia. So we'll get the opportunity to see how it works at the Confederations Cup, which is going to happen later in the year. That's about in June. So, Cecilia, like I said, it'll be very interesting to see how effective this one is. We all know it's a major problem, hooliganism, violence. We saw a lot of it at the Euros last year in France. We don't want a repeat of it, definitely. Football is all about the fans coming in to enjoy themselves and watching the beautiful game of football. So that's it there, right?
Yeah. I think like maybe why Russia deciding to do this is simply because that Euro 2016, because of what happened, they were handed a suspended disqualification by UEFA. That's if they get to have another kind of violence against, especially the one that happened between them and England before that game, then they will be suspended because of the violent clashes in Marseille. So that alone, maybe they had to link it and feel, okay, what do we do so that people like this don't gain access to the stadium?
Course.
So for you, if you know you want to watch a game, what you need to do now, you go get that special ID card. I think in the process, they'll need to take a look at your background.
Of course.
Thorough background checks and all that. If you're involved in anything, you may not have the chance to watch any game. You just sit at home and watch it. I think this definitely is going to curb a whole lot of stuff when it starts in June.
I agree. I think that's what they're thinking about. And Russia, the organizers, have to do everything it takes to actually prevent violence and hooliganism at the World Cup in 2018. Let's listen to Colin Smith. Is the director of competitions for FIFA. He's been speaking on the introduction of fan IDs for the 2018 FIFA World Cup.
The authorities here in Russia, we've also introduced a fan ID process where every fan will be required to have a fan ID to enter the stadiums, both for Confederations Cup and for FIFA World Cup. And so we've got trust in the authorities that everything will be done. And these tournaments are festivals of football. They're supported by real football fans, and that is by far the vast majority of people. And what we can be sure of is that this will be a festival of football. And there's no place in such festivals of football for those that are not here to support the sport and support the game. From our perspective, we have trust in the arrangements that all the authorities are going to put in place for the Confederations Cup and for the World Cup. There's been a lot of information exchange between the authorities in Russia, between UEFA, for example, between the authorities in France during and after the Euro.
Okay, welcome back. Still Channel Sport this morning. Cecilia, we're still talking about the FIFA World Cup and the Confederations Cup. We're going to see the opportunity to test this particular, what do we call it now?
Special ID card.
Yeah, special ID card. So, Cecilia, I think it's a very good one. I think it's a very good one. I think it should be effective, but it might not be easy.
It won't be easy.
I don't think it's really easy.
If you want to watch a game, you have to have special checks, get a special ID card before you get into it. It's going to be difficult for them. But the good thing is they have the Confederations Cup to actually check it. So after that, they will know if it's going to work for them at the biggest stage or not. Because this one, how many countries are coming compared to the bigger one in 2018. So that's the one
it's not going to be easy.
Is looking forward to. But I think it's just their fans they are trying to dissuade from coming to the stadium because of what is happening in Russia. When you look at that, if you picture the scene, in Marseille, on the eve of that England game, you know that it was
bad image.
It's taking us back to the 80s, 60s, and when hooliganism was kind of, Stone Age and all that, and they had to even use the social media, to tell people if you didn't want to involve in this, you can come around, this is what we're doing and all that, more like a cartel, in Russia coming. But then when you have that, it's always very difficult. But I think FIFA will do enough and Russian authorities to not allow such to happen in Russia during the Confederations Cup and also the World Cup. Go for a break now. We'll come back. We'll be talking about Torres. Update on him.